2, 1, 0.
I'm a fresh play every time.
The funny don't stop show. The funny don't stop. Hey, the funny don't stop show. The funny don't stop. The funny don't stop show. The funny don't stop. The funny don't stop show. The funny don't stop. Hey.
My name is Halo Thomas, and you're listening to the Funny Don't Stop Show.
Yay!
Hello.
People.
Hello.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, I must say this is a fly ass sexy crew right here. I can't even lie. You guys look great. You guys look great.
Oh, appreciate it, man. I think we all doing the best we can while quarantining, big homie.
Exactly, Savvy. You look like you're like 6.5 years old right now.
Thank God for Clippers, nigga. Nigga, hey, man, them Clippers, they give you the ability from going from Delroy Lindo to Webster, nigga. Thank God for Clippers, boy.
Oh man, what's up, everybody? Hopefully, everybody out there is enjoying. I don't even know which day. You know, people are like, does anybody know what day of quarantine is it? Is anybody keeping those type of stats?
No, not really. We going on what, at least 2 months though, right, y'all?
Is it?
Yeah,
Is it about 2
months?
It seems like about 2.
Yeah. Well, let me go by the last time I paid rent. Yeah. I see when my 3-day notice is coming. Hold on, I carried a
waiting on that notice.
Right.
Hey, so everybody that's watching us right now all over the world, I just want to say my name is Alex Thomas, and I am the host of the Funny Don't Stop Show. Yes. And we do this every single Tuesday. We're actually on all platforms right now as we speak. But when we're talking to you right now, we are on. And tell them about where they can check us out, Sid.
Yes, you can check us out on youtube.com. Preferably there, youtube.com/The Funny Don't Stop Show. You might be watching us on Alex's Facebook page. You might be watching us on several other platforms within Facebook. But definitely go check us out on all platforms. We're streaming on what are all the other streaming tubes we're on? iHeart, Spotify, iHeart. Yeah, there we go.
Dash Radio, YouTube. But today, if you're watching right now, you're checking us out on YouTube. Is that a puppy, Savvy?
Yeah, I had to bring this guy along for Betsy.
How about, did you just buy that from Betsy?
It's my daughter's dog.
Oh,
that's whose dog is that?
Wow,
my daughter's dog.
Oh my
That
God,
look like Benji.
Oh,
wow,
you
exactly.
bringing back memories with Benji, boy.
Exactly.
You telling your age now, Doc.
You never lied about that.
Yeah,
Benji
exactly.
It's like a little Yorkie or something.
Go, buddy.
what kind of dog is that?
It's a Yorkie, man. It's my daughter's dog, man.
What's his name? Is it a girl or boy?
His name's Kobe. It's a boy.
Kobe. Okay. All right.
We trying to get him in the house, man, because I'm out here in the valley right now and it's extremely hot.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to go in, man. So he's out here with us on the Funny Don't Stop Show.
That's
I'm gonna kill you. You never showed me that dog. I need to send you some stuff for your dog.
Hey, why not? I'll support you. Give us the link to your website, man. I'll hook him up.
Yeah, I need to dress this dog.
Yeah, go ahead, bling him out.
Speaking of Betsy's line, talking about, I don't even have dogs, but you have a super sexy dog line. Tell the people what the name of it is. Tell them how they can find your stuff, Betsy.
It's Devious Dogs is the name, and it's deviousdogs.com. I mean, I want to dress my dogs like I dress myself. So everything's got like shiny gold in it because I love gold.
Bling, bling.
Wow.
So you're telling me some of your dogs have mini skirts and thongs?
Yeah, pretty much. I took the thong out and I just let them go.
Old dog thong.
I love gold.
I'm gonna introduce this amazing cast to you guys right now. This young lady right here speaking, who's absolutely hysterical, and we love her to death. Betsy Cox in the building, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, Betsy?
What's up, y'all? What's up?
You don't give a motherfuck either.
Yeah. Get me talking about politics. It's gonna go down.
What you been up to this week, Betsy?
I'm on a full bread diet. Bread diet.
I've never heard of that.
There is a woman who makes bread, and I'm getting it from her.
So you're saying when you say full bread diet, does that mean no meat, no vegan stuff, no rice, no vegetables, no, just bread?
Pretty much, Alex. I mean, I've been eating vegetables, but I have eaten bread 3 or 4 times a day.
Is it white bread?
Huh?
Is it white bread?
It's olives. I should buy y'all bread and do a drop off. I should buy y'all bread and do a drop. This woman makes bread.
Yeah, is it that white bread?
Right.
White bread is good.
That sounds like a San Quentin diet.
I know, right? What's the reason for that, Betsy?
Because I can't, y'all. I am not a huge bread eater, but she makes olive bread. Do y'all like olives?
I do. No, I've had olive bread. I know exactly. I had it in Israel.
It is insane. She makes olive sourdough. It's like crunchy all around the outside. Yeah, her name's Susie. I love this woman.
So really, honestly, you're having bread 5 times a day with nothing else?
Yeah, I really am. And it's weird because I was like, man, I'm going to get a big ass, and I'm excited about that.
Oh, wow.
Betsy, it ain't that much bread in the world. You
need some. Yeah, you got to get some beans and rice. You know what I mean? It's oxtails. You know what I mean?
Just
you got to get some.
Yeah,
you got to get some oppression. You got to get some oppression with that too. You know what I mean? Some downtroddenness. You got to get some of those things. Got to get all added into the recipe.
Yeah,
exactly.
And Betsy, you're gonna have to put some pig on that bread. You're gonna have a little bit of pork up in there, and we're gonna have to get you a tall glass of diabetes on the side.
Yeah. Well, it's turning out that the only thing that's gonna give me that ass is injections. So.
Are you really thinking about doing that?
No, I'm teasing. But the bread's not working. I'm really not gaining weight, and I'm wondering if it's because she makes this bread.
So let me ask you,
is it yeast? Is it yeast in the bread?
I really don't even know what's in bread said. I'm not a bread now I am, but I think it's like sourdough, and then there's like an olive, and one's like called seeded spelt.
Is it yeast in all bread said?
Not in unleavened bread. Now I only brought that up because you said you had bread when you was in Israel. So when they make bread in Israel, they don't have yeast in their bread. That's part of like.
But isn't the yeast what makes it rise?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
in flour.
Right. So how do you make bread without yeast? Isn't that
it's just it's just kind of like flat bread. It's like a flat bread, but it doesn't make it puffy. Yeah.
Does pita have yeast?
I'm not sure.
Pita actually, because that's what was everywhere when I was in Israel. It's okay when it's mixed with stuff, but pita's not really tasty. It tastes like
air.
Cardboard.
Yeah, kind of air. You got to throw some hummus on that joint to give it a little kick.
Pretty much.
It's a waste of calories. That's what I call something like that. Like if I'm gonna have something bad, then give me a Coke. I want to love that bad.
Okay. So you know what, Betsy, you lead me to ask this question. Since you are, on a bread diet, trying to get some extra ass, if the bread doesn't work, is there another something you can consume to get that ass that you dreamed of?
I'm not sure.
Hey,
Betsy,
maybe I'll do a blog.
I saw you, Raul. Betsy, do any of your friends have ass? Most of your friends are white, right?
Have you seen my sister's asses?
No.
My sisters
Actually, I haven't either.
I haven't. So if we haven't seen them, does it mean it's not there, or we just haven't?
No, both of my sisters have huge butts.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened?
It's like they got
to
the booties in the family and you didn't.
They have. I'm tall. I have like bigger boobs and bigger ribs and like a bigger shoulders and stuff. And they have a tiny upper body. These little tiny waists and then big old butts.
So where did that come from? Did they get it from their mama? Or does the mama have a big ass?
Yeah, my mom had a really big ass.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Donald, the black guy. So I figured.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
Because Donald wouldn't have been fucking with it if it didn't have no ass.
Yeah, basically.
Now it all makes sense.
Of course she had ass.
Come on, Donald was a background singer for the Temptations.
I know something. Not all black guys have to have a big ass. Okay.
The majority.
Like tall, skinny blondes. FY motherfucking I.
No, you're right. But the majority, if we had 10 black guys, 8 of them want some ass.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go with way less. I'm gonna say if you have 10 black guys, 9 of them will take a tall blonde because I cleaned up.
No, Betsy.
Up in the club.
There's a huge difference. We're not saying they would turn down some pussy. Now that we're not saying that.
Yeah.
We're saying the preference.
Clarify.
Let's make that clear.
Yeah.
Let me just say this. In the club, okay, when I was working.
But one thing about you, Betsy, one thing I could say about you, Betsy, when you said you cleaned up, first of all, you have an amazing personality. You're fun. You're outspoken. You're not afraid. You're like, bring it on, motherfucker. So that's another thing that'll make a brother go, oh shit, okay. She has no fear. Okay. You know what I mean? Let's see what else she ain't afraid of. You know what I mean?
The music was bumping. I don't think anybody could read that. But I do, for a small ass, I can twerk. Okay.
I've seen your work. I've seen your work.
Betsy, I've never seen it, but I don't think you could twerk, Betsy. I'm serious. I don't see that. I've never witnessed it.
Don't make me do that.
But if I was about to be a betting man, I can't see it.
Well, look, Doc, you can't go off of, and I'm speaking on behalf of Betsy right now as if I'm her representative. Okay? Right now, we're gonna act like Doc, you run a major rap label, okay? and you're used to gigantic booties for all your rappers' videos. On behalf of my client, Betsy Cox,
yes.
Okay, it doesn't always have to be some gigantic sloppy booty that she can be still and the motherfucker still be jiggling cottage cheese shit, right? My client right here,
yeah,
does 1,600 squats a day. She's on a bread diet. She's been a vegan for the last 5 years. Okay. So her twerk it's more of a tight twerk.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? It's not all over the place.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know how big booty black chicks, a big gigantic booty black chick can have on a trench coat, and a mile away you can tell she has an ass, correct?
Right. Yeah. Very true.
My client here, she has to get asshole naked, but it works. It's gonna be an asset to the new Death Row Records. I swear. Follow her TikToks and give me an answer by Friday, okay?
Got you.
Okay. So look, I need to introduce the rest of all these people. The man up here with the beautiful background, like he's at Martha's Vineyard somewhere. Fact man himself, Said
Right.
Bryce. What up, Said Bryce?
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody?
How are you,
How's
man?
everybody doing? Man, I'm good, man. You know, given, we need a little laugh right now, given the state that we're in today. And then, as I reflect during the week on a personal note, I know I didn't shoot it out to everybody, but I had an uncle pass away from coronavirus, man. So we've been adjusting within my personal family, man. So yeah, no doubt. So I feel good to be on the show and be back into the system and be happy and be, all about funniness and bringing it laughter to healing to everybody. So that's what's up, man.
Okay, well, man, we're gonna do our best to make you smile and laugh, and you're a big part of this this machine here. And definitely our condolences and our prayers go out to your family, man, because I know that's not an easy thing, especially in these times,
Nah, no doubt.
And at the bottom right there, we got Mr. Doc Clark in the building. What up, Doc?
What's happening? Well, a couple of things. One, as you can see my background, I haven't received my stimulus check as of yet. So this is just wishful thinking. That's why my background is the way that it is.
Are you really looking forward to your stimulus? Do you know it's coming? Do they tell people like
I think
coming on the 8th?
It's coming. It's coming. I don't know when, but am I looking forward to it? You damn straight.
How do you know you're getting it?
How do I know I'm getting it?
Yeah.
I mean, well, based off of, what was required, I did file my taxes and all the things that enable me to receive it. I know I'm getting it. It's just a matter of when.
So let me ask you this. Is it one of those things where you're literally shot in the dark? You know it's coming, but you just don't know when. You're just going out to the mailbox every day? Or do they give people like an idea? Oh, it'll be 30 days. It'll be 40
Well, I think it's supposed to be like at the end of the month. And like Betsy was saying, I think there's like a website or a hotline or whatever that you could call this, to give you an idea. A hotline. Yeah.
1-800 where my check.
Where my shit at? Yeah. 1-800 where my shit at? So that and just like said, I lost a family member. My second cousin passed away, and his brother is on life support. Both I have two cousins that are brothers, and they lived in the same. They had like not even a duplex, but like a triplex in New York, a brownstone. And so they each lived on one level. One of them got sick, went to the hospital, went through the whole, was on the respirator and couldn't breathe, and then was on life support. And while that was happening, his brother was feeling ill, but never went to the doctors. But he felt that he probably had it, I guess, and never went, and he passed away in the house. While my other cousin is still, I think they just took him off of life support like a couple days ago. So yeah, I wasn't as close to them. Like they're my mother's first cousins. They're my second cousins.
But it was the coronavirus.
It definitely was, yeah.
Wow.
So
how old were their ages?
I would say, let me see, probably like 62, 63, around there in New York. So we are like New York is definitely a hot spot for that.
Said how old?
Yeah, he was in his late 70s. That's funny. Doc's scenario was almost to the T, the same scenario. My family has a duplex. I have an uncle on the first floor. He lived on the second floor. A stepson came over. The one on the first floor got it. They caught the one on the second floor a little too late. Within probably 48 to 72 hours, he passed away.
Yeah.
Wow, man. What city?
But on a good note, I want to give a shout out to Yuri Watts. Happy birthday, Yuri Watts. She's from your Facebook page, Alex.
Oh, okay.
She's on your Facebook page right now commenting. So Yuri Watts, happy birthday out in Las Vegas.
Cool. Hey, said anybody that and we're gonna work out on these kinks. People that are chiming in throughout our show since you're on. So are you on 2 laptops or how are you doing it, Sid?
Yeah, I got like 3 devices. So I got my computer doing the Zoom, and then I got my new iPhone where I'm looking at my Facebook. Then I got our YouTube page, and I'm looking at our YouTube page as well. So.
Cool. So I want you, if there's any interesting questions or comments, feel free to bring it up during our show because I want to definitely be able to interact with people as much as we can.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we got to give a big shout out to my man down there in the spaceship. I do not know what part of the galaxy he is in this week, but he's a producer on the show. You see him with the San Francisco hat because he is from the Bay.
Raul.
What up, Raul?
What's up?
Where you at, man? You act like there's a little midget down there tickling your nutsack.
Man.
Right.
I wish that was true, man.
What part of the Milky Way are you in?
Area right now, man.
You what?
In the Bay Area, man. Just over here chilling in San Francisco.
Bay Area. How's your week? How's your week been?
Man, it's been good, man. Been out in the sun a lot, so trying to kill that virus, with the sun.
Oh, man.
Out there.
Not being in the sun, living here in LA. I was just talking to Doc earlier about the bike thing. I've been getting on my bike almost every day now, doing about 15 miles, man. It's a serious workout. I never rode bikes in like adult life. And I'm like,
yeah, I've been doing 15 miles, man.
Okay.
I said, you got Brazy doing 15 miles pregnant.
Dude, she almost didn't make it yesterday, but she did a good job. I'm real proud of her. We had to take like 2 or 3 breaks. But 15 miles is no joke, right, Doc?
Yeah, It's no joke if you're used to it like that. For me, that's no. I'm used to it. Let's just say, but it is one of those things that you have to build up stamina for. You know, you need to go to like maybe start at 3 miles, do 3 miles for a month or whatever, then go to 6, and then just build. Continually build your way up.
How do you feel at the end of doing your 15 miles? How do you feel every day?
I'm usually always kind of sore, but now I'm just so used to the soreness. So, I mean, I feel I'm not tired. I'm like ready to get my day started because I go really early. And now I'm trying to maybe go a little earlier.
The only thing that's sore on me, dude, is my ass.
Yeah, well, the trick is you're not really supposed to sit all the time. You're supposed to like kind of try to hover over.
I notice when I do that, that gives me a little release. When I stand up, oh, you're right. When I go to the left or right, I even went and got one of those gel seats.
Oh, I did too. I switched my seat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if not, your asshole will be on fire. Pause. But it will.
What'd you say, Betsy?
They have booty pop panties, the padded panties.
And I'm supposed to wear padded panties?
It's like workout pants or workout shorts with the pads on them.
Well, I wear those. I have those. So I have biker shorts and biker leggings that are padded.
And
so I wear
under your shorts.
I wear those. Yeah, I wear leggings and then I wear just regular shorts and then my top might be. If it's cold, then I might have a hoodie. If not, I'll just have on like a tight, like biker type shirt or whatever.
Right.
Doc, you're legit as hell.
And in the morning, it's really hot. I used to do 15 in the morning and 15 in the evening.
Wow.
I'm gonna try to get back to doing 2 a days.
So let me ask you this. Do you know what trips me out? And maybe you can explain this, right? It's weird for a person like me that was never a bike rider, but you know how you see long distance runners, bike riders, they're always in great shape. It seems like when you're just sitting, and let's just take me on 15 miles, how is that working your whole body? Because I'm like, why do I feel like I was just boxing? Like my whole body feel like I don't get it.
Well, I mean, that also happens too because you don't ride that much, so you're using muscles that you're not used to using.
Yeah.
So it definitely does. It might not seem like just holding on to handlebars and like those are muscles that you don't use your muscles in that way. They're what I mean? They're tightened up or whatever. Definitely your thighs, your legs. So when you're just walking or doing whatever throughout the day, you're not using those muscles like that. So you're gonna be sore for a minute, and then your body will just get used to it.
Yeah, because that's definitely what I'm going through right now. The soreness, and I'm trying to get used to it. And yes, I'm gonna have to get some of them padded biker shorts to put up under.
Yeah, like you could get them on Amazon, and they're not expensive at all. Like $15, something like that. They're not expensive.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to do that. Let's dive in here, man. Betsy, we mentioned something, and I think you could start us off with this. I only saw it on social media. I saw a glimpse on the news, but I kind of need to get some clarity on this whole Donald Trump talking about drinking Lysol. What the hell was he thinking? And clarify what exactly did he say? Because I hear there's some dumbasses out there that were actually drinking this shit.
Alex?
Well, not to cut you off, Bessie, we got a video on it, so you can explain it. And I think Raul has a video on it, so we don't even have to paraphrase.
Don't forget what you're gonna say, Betsy.
Yeah, I got the video. Hold on, let me bring that up real quick.
Well, go ahead, cue it up, Betsy, while Raul pulls it up.
Yeah, they were doing they were talking about the coronavirus, and somebody came on and was saying that what was it? Lysol kills it in less than a minute on this surface, and and Donald Trump gets on and says, "Oh, this all sounds UV ray light kills it," and Donald Trump said, "And we can put that inside the body through the skin."
I got it. Check it out.
There you go.
All right, let's check this out.
See the disinfectant, where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or
He's just bullshitting and making shit up as he's talking.
He be freestyling, dude.
He said injection and like clean the lungs out. Disinfectant.
So basically, in the nutshell, he's talking about if we drink some COVID cocktails, a Lysol martini, we gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Or get you like a nice tall glass of that purple Fabuloso, because it does look like grape Kool-Aid. That'll work.
You guys.
And in all fairness as well, you know, if you listen to it, he's asking the medical professionals, can we research it or can we do it?
Right.
So I think, you know, people were taking the fact that he was again, I'm not a big Donald Trump proponent, but if I want to just present the facts and evidence clearly, he was posing a question. So yeah, there we got all of the
Was it a question?
No, I know exactly what you're saying, Betsy, and I hear what you're saying, but what he's doing is he's kind of like thinking out loud. But you ain't supposed to be thinking out loud as the president of the United States and millions of people are watching, because then you expose yourself and it shows how fucking stupid.
There you go.
Yeah.
That clean and fresh cocktail.
Hold on, we're gonna hold out one, Raul. Hold that last one. You know, did y'all also, not to get now we're still on the subject, but did you hear his reply though? After the social media lit him up, he was saying that he was being sarcastic. Yeah. So I think we just heard the clip. But I think Raul has that one too, Raul. You got that one as well?
I sent you both of them on a loop. I don't know if you have it.
There he is.
Yeah, what's up, Savvy in the building?
Yo, what's up, man? I had to come to another area in the house that's probably going to be fairly loud because I'm trying to control a 4-year-old and just simply can't do it, man. So.
I understand. Right now, I'm listening to two behind these walls, and hopefully they don't come out and interrupt me. Okay?
Yeah, man. It's inevitable.
So I just want to ask Said, what are you saying about Donald Trump? You said, yeah, he did. He said it's sarcastic. He said he was being sarcastic with a news reporter like you to the woman who asked him to clarify it all.
Right.
Are you saying that he was sarcastic?
No, I'm saying he wasn't. I just wanted to propose the actual facts, which aren't true, that he's trying to say, but I just wanted to propose them in the right framework. But of course, yes, he was asking the question to the medical profession. But the fact that you're even posing a question, whether if you're asking a question or making a statement, just shows like how ignorant can you be.
Right.
More importantly,
real quick. To get you up to speed. Right now, we're talking about cocktails and Corona-tinis. People drinking Lysol, and I think 30 people in New York actually drank the shit.
I knew they would.
People are calling hotlines about getting injections of it. Calling government hotlines, asking. Look at this.
Yeah.
At least 30 people reportedly ingested household cleaners since Donald Trump's converse. I can't believe this, man. Hey, Raul, you have that picture I sent you of the actual cocktail with the lime and all that stuff? There we go. There's the recipe for the cocktail. You got to make sure you don't put too much margarita and just kind of go a little hard on the lime, so to cut that bite off. You know what I mean? The perfect Corona-tini.
Is it a Corona-tini?
No, but you know, that's what we're dealing with today. You know, there's an actual war on science. There's a war on knowledge. There's a war on intellect. Right now, these people are winning the battle because nobody wants to use common sense. And we're finding in real time that common sense really ain't so common.
Not, man.
Oh my gosh.
Your daughter is so cute. What is her name?
JC. She just had to find a way to wiggle in the frame, man.
I know. What's her name?
JC.
How you spell that?
Jaycee.
Oh, that is cool. How'd you come up with that name? Is that your idea? Was that mom's idea?
No, it was mine, man. I was actually looking for unique female names once I found out what she was gonna be, and I was actually digging through a a French website looking at French girl names, and JC popped up, and it just clicked.
It clicked right away.
Right away, man.
Real quick, speaking of Lysol, I actually did a good deed this week, and I met up with Savvy Amusing, and I got him a fresh off the assembly line can of Lysol.
Yes, I mean it's look,
How did it
it's
work
so
out?
crazy. It's so crazy because I don't know. Does anybody in this group besides me watch The Walking Dead? Anybody?
Nah.
I started it and I never
finished it.
That's good.
Well, anyway, the concept of this show, it's like we're dealing with a zombie apocalypse because of this this virus, this bio, and everybody has the virus. The only thing about it is like when they die, they turn into these zombies. So what happened is basically civilization is all messed up, and you have groups of people that form their own groups and their own leaderships. They got bad people, militia, and they got good people. And the crazy thing about it is people will meet up with their group leader for essential products like, okay, you got the vegetables? Well, I got gas. You got the fire? Well, hey, we got water. And that's the way it felt when I met Alex the other day. Like literally Alex called me like, look, bro, you got some toilet paper? If you got toilet paper, I got you some Lysol.
Some Lysol.
And we meeting up. He got his mask on. I got my mask on. And we 6 feet apart. And I'm literally shooting this dude toilet paper free throws, and he's shooting me Lysol free throws. Dude,
it's something that we're gonna have to shoot, Savvy. We have to, have to shoot that as a sketch when it's
bro. It's so crazy, man. To where
have you been using it?
Oh yeah, man. Hey, look, bro, I've been using it just for no apparent reason. Just just literally just walking through the house, just just for nothing.
Which one do you have? Yeah, the cleaning product, or do you got the aerosol spray?
Which one was it, Alex?
Show him the package real quick, Raul. Show him that picture real quick. This was the little care package I bought to Savvy. Is the picture of the Lysol spray. There you go. There's the little.
Yeah, there it is. That's it. That's
man,
the one.
Those sprays, man. You can probably get that for $50 on the black market, man. It's hard as hell to find them sprays, man.
Yo, said that's exactly what Alex's wife said. She said $50, Savvy.
That is funny.
But
$50.
now I'm about to let y'all in on the real secret. The real secret is this: my wife is pregnant, and her mom is over 60. So
in the you can get first thing in the morning. You guys are the first ones to be able to get up in the grocery stores.
Absolutely. At 8 o'clock at Target, when there is 300 people in line, they walk their asses right up in
the front. Yeah.
I'm gonna send you my shopping list.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're gonna give him the list.
Hey, that's a nice side hustle, Alex. You take people's list and then you charge them. That's a nice side hustle.
Man, it is.
How you think I made 20,000 in the last 2 days?
Betsy.
I was about to ask y'all to email me your list.
Bro, hey, Alex, you better tell Betsy to get like a little soccer ball or something and put it in that gut, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
You better pick up on this hustle.
Right.
Yeah, she trying to work on the ass. You got to work on the other side. The
front
side, not the backside. That backside ain't gonna get you nothing but heartache and pain. That's
right now.
Hard penis. You're gonna get something else hard. With that other side.
Hey, while you guys bullshitting, email me your list and I'll shoot you guys an invoice.
There you go.
Hey, real talk. Let's move on here, man. We got to pray for Georgia because unfortunately, Georgia just opened back up and these fools done lost their minds. And I mean, they're having parties. Then Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago. I saw that. It pissed me off.
Oh God. It should put it this way. Illinois didn't even reopen, but they went off of hearing that Atlanta opened up. So they started throwing crazy ass COVID-19 parties. I know you got that video, Raul. There's a video of 1,000 people in a house party.
Yeah, I got it.
Watch this. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's gonna take 10 people to die out this party for people to get the point. Look at this.
People at this home in Chicago are certainly not social distancing. Police bust up a house party on the way.
This party on 79th Street on the south side was so jammed, the young lady shooting the video chose not to even wade into the crowd on the first floor.
That's fire right there.
And although we haven't seen
Nobody's wearing a mask.
Wow.
When they broke up a large party in the South Loop. Governor
That's
Pritzker
wild,
hadn't
man.
seen the video when he went before the camera today, but he clearly.
And dangerous.
I would suggest that all of those people have violated not only the intention of the order that we've put out, but also they've violated the trust of their friends and family.
The governor says all it takes is
That's
one
wild,
possibly
man.
asymptomatic spreader of the virus to sicken many others.
It's always us.
Why did it have to be black folks?
It's always us.
But here's the thing I want to push back before everybody chime in. It's like, why is they always got to report the things that black people doing as if we're the only ones that's disobeying the laws? I think when we first seen this break, we saw the one in Inglewood where they had the baby shower. And I'm saying we have to resist that temptation to actually always react when we see things on the news about us, because we have to realize or understand that sometimes that might be a skewed perspective, although it may be factual. But sometimes we're getting the news from a skewed perspective, and it has longer terms or broader implications when we do that.
But we also got to look at on the other end. We can't put ourselves in that position. It doesn't matter how the skew is. The bottom line is that we did some shit that we shouldn't have done. Yeah, they highlight us and all that stuff, but we're also putting ourselves in that position in order for them to be able to highlight.
And in defense of the other people, oh, you go first. You go first.
No, it really, because it's not. I understand what you're saying. You put yourself in the position. This person puts up. It's every race and every color of people putting themselves in the position. It doesn't matter. People are young. People want to party. People want to go out. It was a bunch of white kids on a beach in Florida. Who cares who it was at this house party? It's every race, every color. It's all over, and it's just happened. And
you have a great point, Betsy. Unfortunately, no.
Oh man, this is one of the first times me and Betsy really fully all out agreed on this point. But go ahead, Alex.
No, my whole thing is, you're right. Yeah, there's white kids out there. There's other people that are doing it, right? I feel like we are the ones that like
we get targeted and highlighted. There's no question.
We're blowing it up on social media, and there ain't no being low key about it. If 1,000 people's phones are out and there's nobody famous in there, it's just you put everybody's social media together, it's gonna get to the governor. It's gonna get out in the news amongst all their Facebooks and everything else, and it just looks like we're being the dumb ones that aren't listening. Okay, yeah. All this week, all you've heard about is this? Are they treating black people as lab rats in Atlanta, knowing that when you say barbershops, bowling alleys, nail salons, all the places that unfortunately our people be hanging out at, and I feel like, you're right, Betsy. There's white people that do it too, but not like us.
I disagree.
I would push back on that too. I think they're doing it just as big, if not better. We're just not seeing it, and because we're in our bubble, because we see things in our own little Afrocentric Black social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook world, we think that's like biopic of the actual entire internet space. I'm telling you, these kids are having spring break. They at Daytona. All these white kids are doing the same thing in bigger and broader ways.
Some of that was highlighted, and there's no question that everyone is doing it. All I'm saying is that, and I understand you're young and you do stuff that you're not supposed to. You're being rebellious, whatever the case may be. The state of the world right now and how dangerous this shit is. None of us should be putting ourselves in a situation where we can harm other people and all that. So yes, we get highlighted because we're doing dumb shit, as there's white kids doing dumb shit. Like nobody should be doing it.
Here's what I think is gonna happen, unfortunately. And I don't know what you guys are, if I want anybody to chime in on this. I feel like give it a week or two, 3 weeks tops, we'll be to get these statistics. of what happened when they opened up these few cities in these few states. And trust me, I feel like it's going to be a oops. Sorry, guys, we made a mistake. And now they're going to have to add an extra 3 months onto the quarantine, because that proved when they tested on those cities and those towns. Come on, man. If you watch the news every day, there's new numbers every single day. I watched the news last night and they got it down to the 935 more people just in the state of California in one day.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So in 2 weeks, they're going to have some good data off these cities that let the dogs out again.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. But I do want to say this one thing, because, you know, you showed that clip. And I do want to say, I think majority of you guys are, I know Seth is, but majority of you guys grew up more or less in cities, not small towns like me in Louisiana, you know, and had, you know, I never left Louisiana and come to LA. I can tell you I would be a much different person than I am today, probably. I would have been at the party that everybody was just at.
Working?
Because that,
probably.
That is a small town thing. Okay,
right.
Yeah, probably I would. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Donna would have called me. We would have been up in there. We would have been dancing. We would have had the music going. Everybody give me a Long Island iced tea. That's how it is. So it's very hard to look at those situations and you put judgment on those people because it's a different mentality and a different town, and you are big city people and you don't understand. Like my friend Donna said, I'm bringing Richie, my dad, rocking Richie some masks. She goes, I mean, I am not crazy about social distancing. They're in New Orleans. My dad walked up to her and gave her a huge hug because that's a Southern mentality. Like, we're not thinking, oh shit, I'm gonna die. We got to be like, we love you, because that's how we are. Right. So these people are rocking out with their people, and it's really hard to pass judgment because it's a different type of education. We are in a really big educated city here, so we're taught different things. So I just don't want to pass judgment. It's like, that's a different mentality and a different way of living, and it's not something we understand. So yeah,
I think for me, I'm careful into. Go ahead. You want to say something? Go ahead, Savvy.
No.
Go ahead. I'll come in.
No. I'm listening to y'all, bro. I'm listening.
I think for me, I'm careful in framing the conversation around black or white, because I feel that there's greater implications that come from that, right? And we're already seeing it play itself out. We see right now in China, in Japan, in North Korea, South Korea, we'll see where they're African or African-American people at, they're not even allowing black people into grocery stores. We're seeing actual harsher treatment towards so-say black people because of this stereotype that's being put out there that black people don't know how to handle this coronavirus thing right. And we see that also being perpetuated through the media, also saying that, hey, we're the ones with the highest proximity of having it. So in answering Alex's question, what I think might happen is half of what he said. They're going to release it, but then be like, oops, the black people still got it. So let's lock down Inglewood, Compton, Chicago, Atlanta. Let's lock down all the black people and have temporary areas for where Caucasian and everybody else can move around. People with money can move around, but then you got black people can't move around. So I'm very careful about pushing this narrative that, oh, black people, we don't know how to act. We the ones who got the virus and we're the ones. So I'm kind of trying to push back on that because I feel like it's got greater implications.
Quick question for you, said. I had been hearing about that, but I really didn't get the details. Can you expound on that real quick? What is going on with the black people in China? Are they literally trying to say we are the ones with it and we are, because I've seen videos of Chinese people beating up black people for coming into restaurants and banks. What is going on?
You're right on it. It's based on what they're seeing in the news, in American news, and what's being perpetuated. So they feel like, yo, black people got it. We don't want y'all coming into our stores. Black people don't know how to contain themselves, so we don't want you in our restaurants. We don't want you in our grocery stores. And so it's so funny that, you know, we're sitting here being somewhat self-righteous with ourselves, and we should always have accountability. I think black people have the most accountability more than any other nationality. But when you start looking at this on a world scale, it has such greater implications and such harmful effects that can come down the line, even politically, legislatively, and in our local government systems. And I don't put it past them saying, hey, we're gonna put Black people in high urban areas in self-quarantine, and everybody in Beverly Hills, Santa Monica can move around. And so if you just happen to be an urban Black folk person, don't get mad. We've been memeing, sending out messages, actually hyping the conversation.
What do you think happens to somebody like me that I'm the only Black person in my neighborhood? What are they gonna do? Make sure that I'm around white people and I'm like, good morning, get away. I mean, how's that gonna work?
Yep. Yeah, that might get away. Or burn cross, get out of our neighborhood, move. You're not in your right neighborhood. And we can't say that that's fairy tale because again, 6 months ago.
Legal? Real quick, don't forget what you're gonna say, Betsy. How is that legal in China? Because I saw the videos and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I almost thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
How can you just, Black man walking down the street and 3 Chinese people beat them down and not be, arrested or taken to jail for that? That's still assault.
It's one word for that: democracy. We think everyone operates in a democracy like we do here in America. They don't operate in a democracy there. When you go to most countries, they operate on a nationalistic standpoint, which is, are you my nationality? And if you're my nationality, you're my people. Everybody else is deemed as somebody else. Only America deems as melting pot where everybody can buy into what's called citizenship.
Has anybody else here seen these videos? Because
I've seen it, man. And when I saw it, it upset me because when Trump was first calling it a Chinese virus, there was a few people saying that a lot of Asians was getting beat up because of it. And I'm saying like, yeah, that's wrong, man. Why they beating them people up? That's wrong. Then I look at the news and it's a dude in front of McDonald's getting beat down with bamboo sticks and pipes. And, I'm like, what is this? I'm like, why is it that we are the world with everybody else, but then when it comes to us, we getting our butts kicked? I don't get it, man.
Right. Yeah. No, that's exactly it. That is exactly it.
First of all, China has killed their own people who have, even if they had a fever. I've heard so many stories and from my best friend's Chinese and some of her family's still there.
Yeah.
And apparently another friend of mine had a friend that was working with a film crew from China and they couldn't get back in. And they said the family was saying there were so many more body bags all over the street. So many more people died than we know about, so much more. But I do think this all stems again, and this is, and I did send you guys a link, and I know you didn't watch it a few weeks ago.
Which one?
Of Dr. Mills speaking to the FDA about milk and giving it to people of color, Black people and Asian people specifically, who are not genetically made up to digest milk, and this being a huge racist problem, eating meat and all this shit, fried chicken, and you can make these jokes, but to me, it pisses me off. No, because I am from New Orleans. There are people in the fucking projects who are never going to get educated on this, and they're going to die of COVID because of the diet that's pushed on them by the damn government. And it's the reason I'm vegan, because of the people and where I come from. And this is a huge, huge problem for me. I really flames me up. I don't care if you are poor or you rich. You have the same right to live as everybody in the world, no matter what cloth you are cut from. It doesn't matter. And this doctor got up and spoke to the panel about pushing milk and targeting with ads to Black people, to Asian people, saying, and then he said, but I'm not shocked that you don't see that it's a problem, that you're pushing this on people of color. When I look at this panel and it's all white people, shame on you. Shame on you. Watch that video that I sent and said, I specifically noted it to you, because this is why it is not, it's mostly poor people that are targeted. I grew up on McDonald's. I'm telling you guys, I grew up on Burger King. I grew up on food stamps. I grew up on, my mom did get wheat bread, but I grew up on this stuff. And so do a lot of people of color. And it's not fair. You cannot target, and you can't. And then now it's people's diets that's killing them. Because as you know, eating meat is a class 1 carcinogen. It's the same as smoking. This disease attacks the lungs, and nobody's going to come out and talk about it except for Bill Maher. Bill Maher came out and did it this whole week on his show. But anyway, so
well, thank you, Betsy, for that rant. I know normally I'm the one to go off the rails, but yeah, I appreciate Betsy, for taking it on today.
I thoroughly appreciate all these different angles, and I really truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. Did you guys see the healthcare worker in Atlanta? And she basically had a statement, something she wanted to say to the governor. Basically, shame on this governor for opening up this city. Raul, play that. I want everybody to listen. Let her finish before we start commenting. Play that video real quick, Raul.
Governor Kemp, you should be ashamed of yourself. Anybody who is in alignment with what you, I'm going to just talk about Georgia, you, Governor Kemp, are doing. You should be ashamed of yourself. We are risking our lives out here. And I feel like I could cry. I'm taking my clothes off at the front door. My husband has a tub sitting at the front door. I take my clothes off when I walk in the door and run upstairs and take a shower before I can even touch him. And you're really opening massage parlors, tattoo parlors? Why are we going through all this? Truly tell me, is the dollar more important than the lives of Americans, than the lives of our world? What are you all thinking? Why are you doing this to us? How can this still be about money? Just money. That's all this is.
Oh, that's deep.
That's deep, man. I mean, she has a point. She works in that field. What's your feeling on that, Sid?
No, I think that's right, spot on, man. I think that we got to be educated from within on a lot of these things. I know it's a lot of big misinformation going on out there, man. And I do think that, you know, I guess I went straight off of once the conversation. I think Black people should be aware of that, but we have to be careful about the conversations that we have. But quick shout out to Winky Dinky Dog, Alex. They sent the comment saying, thank you so much for wearing the shirt.
Winky Dinky Dog. When they come back, when we get back in the studio, they got a vegan hot dog for you, Betsy.
That vegan hot dog was good.
Oh, that's right, you had it.
Betsy had it, yeah.
She did? You had one?
I forgot all about that. You did have one. Hey.
Yeah, I think you did too.
Oh, I had several. Hey, I cannot wait to have them back. I'm switching reels real quick. Did you guys see episode 3 and 4 of The Last Dance? Michael Jordan, Chicago Bulls, 1997-98.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm actually going to watch 6 and 7 tonight. I have all the way through 8. I have it already.
How'd you get it ahead of the rest of the world?
Because he knows Michael Jordan personally.
Oh, yeah. I'll talk to you offline. I'll send it to you, but I have all of them all the way through 8.
Man, they still selling bootlegs on the street.
You got a link? You got a link to it, Doc?
Come on, man. Why you put me on blast, son? Why you put me on blast?
No, I'm just asking because I ain't seen none of them, to be honest with you.
I'll send it to you.
Brother, when I tell you, I made sure my bike ride was done. I even left at a certain time just so I could be on the couch at 6 o'clock watching on Sunday, dude.
Yeah, it was good, man. The way they put it together is really good. And I really like how they're giving, so far, like each player, their shine and giving you perspective about that player.
Their stories. Their stories.
What they did on, you saw what they did on the court and you knew how great the team was, but not really understand all the personalities and all the political stuff within the franchise, what was going on. I didn't even realize that all those things were going on as far as what Scottie Pippen wanted. He felt that he deserved more money.
Yeah.
And I just didn't remember all those things going on. So to now, and I'm a huge sports fan, to now know what happened, but to see how they got there.
Yeah.
Whoa, the shit, all the stuff with Dennis Rodman is crazy.
That's what I was about to say.
And the fact that Dennis Rodman was doing what he was doing, partying, but still would be ready for work the next day and bust ass for what he was supposed to do. Like,
let's just be real. Dennis Rodman was the RuPaul of the NBA.
Yeah.
Before we even knew what the word transgender and all these other things, this dude, first of all, he had the different color hair every single game.
Every game.
He was wearing skirts and bras and panties on a regular basis. And then at the same time, fucking around with like Madonna and
Carmen Electra.
Right.
And they didn't know how to really take this. But what's crazy is when you watch the documentary, it kind of shows you, there he is, at the end of the day, the two most important guys, Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan, respected this dude because he came to work and he did what he was supposed to do, and he damn near did it better than everybody. Look at that. Come on, today, that's what's old boy that wears skirts to the Oscars today?
Oh.
Billy
Porter.
Billy Porter.
Way before
I
that.
knew Doc knew. See, Doc knew the name right off the point, right off top.
Yeah.
So imagine that. Imagine that. You just finished beating the Lakers. You in the locker room, everybody's getting dressed, and this nigga's in the mirror putting on his makeup. That party's gonna be crazy tonight, boy.
Yeah.
I mean,
hey, Rodman.
What are you gonna say, Savvy?
I was saying Rodman was ahead of his time. Little did he know he was leading the revolution of 15 years. It was going to be the new norm. See, it was looked at as strange back then.
Exactly. He looked like Young Thug's uncle.
There you go. Hey, bro. Hey, Doc, that dude can make platinum records right now, bro.
Absolutely.
And nobody would say nothing.
Absolutely.
I mean, think about it. If social media was around back then, he'd be one of them dudes with 100 million followers.
Oh, of course he would. Yeah.
And remember, a lot of people don't know this. Dennis Rodman. Remember, I've been look at that. That's a different color hairstyle, and Michael and Scotty and them were like, this dude's weird. Like, so if you look at the picture at the bottom, back then, I remember that game when Scottie Pippen came back after the all the craziness. Go back to that, Raul, please, to the hairstyles, right? I remember this game, and I was like, did this nigga just put cheetah and leopard on his head?
But you know,
20 years later, they explained
that was supposed to be 33. Those are supposed to be threes for Scottie Pippen.
Exactly, but we didn't know that back then. You know what I mean? And then another crazy thing is, people didn't know that I've been a sneakerhead for a long time, way before the word sneakerhead. And people don't know Dennis Rodman actually had a signature shoe with Nike. His Converse shoe was ugly as hell, but this joint right here, I actually had about 3 or 4 pairs.
Everybody had these. Everybody had them.
Those were real nice, man. The Rodmans were dope.
Those were hard. I mean, it's just at the time, a lot of brothers in the hood were like, I don't know if I should be wearing shoes with a nigga that wears skirts and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
they kind of like knock off J's a little bit. They got like J's kind of like, they got the body style of the J's a little bit.
Yeah, mix with a Gary Payton.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they did. But remember, this dude had a best-selling book, Bad As I Want to Be, with a nigga naked on the outside of the book. He was doing stuff that guys are doing today. Like you said, he was doing that 15 years ago.
Right.
I mean, and from what I'm hearing, I never read the book, but I heard in the book he posed asshole naked in the book.
I'm sure.
I mean, it's not shocking for him.
Exactly. I can't see.
Surprised he wasn't butt naked with a different pose on every page.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
And didn't he say something like he wanted to play his last game naked?
He did. Yep. He said that.
Oh, very wild, man.
Yeah,
That was a strange dude.
He was a wild boy, man.
Well, one thing Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan loved about this dude, man, and a lot of people don't realize this. First of all, he was one of the greatest rebounders in the history of the game. Okay?
I mean, I think he led rebounding like 5 years in a row or something like that.
Dude, when he broke it down, first of all, let's just not even forget here, you guys. Remember, before he came to the Bulls, he already had 2 rings. Y'all know that, right? Hello?
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Yep.
Yeah, we here.
Okay. When he came to the Bulls, he already had 2 rings. So they had to respect that. Number one.
Right.
And remember,
and
Michael Jordan hated his guts because when he couldn't get past the Detroit years, a lot of that had to do with Dennis Rodman's defense.
Yeah.
And he knew if we could get that dude on our team and get them rebounds and go after every single loose ball and somebody play defense, we can fuck around and win also. And that's exactly what happened.
Yep.
Yep.
He was,
I don't. Go ahead.
Raul, what is going on with the screen? Because I'm seeing clouds and all kind of other pictures.
There we go.
Okay. Now there you go.
Now there you
Now
go.
there you go.
There you go. Now there you go.
Now, I was kind of pivoting, but on the same subject a little bit. I've been watching, everybody been giving Zeke or Isaiah Thomas a lot of heat. I guess after these series is coming out, and he's been on a lot of different sports shows kind of defending his position and talking about his beef with Mike, so it's been kind of interesting, even in the point that you just said about Dennis Rodman, and that, Isaiah was saying, yo, we didn't really get the respect for what we was and who we played and who we went up against. You failed to remember, we went up against the 76ers, we went up against Boston, we went up against the Lakers. We beat all of them. And we talking about Larry Bird, Boston. We talking about Magic Johnson, Lakers. We talking about Michael Jordan, Bulls, right? And I even had to admit, even though I'm a big Zeke fan and I'm from Chicago, and I always love Isaiah Thomas because he was one of the first to represent the Chi as a little man. But I was like, man, I really didn't put it into that context till he said, he was also highlighting, based on what you just said about Dennis Rodman, everybody was duplicating the Pistons after the Pistons. Even though people want to give the bad boy representation of the Pistons a bad name and don't want to give the Pistons credit, everybody else started doing the Pistons after us. He said, oh, that's what the New York Knicks basically modeled themselves after the Pistons.
After the bad boys.
The Miami Heat, they modeled themselves after the Pistons. But one stat that I thought was interesting that he brought down was that, forget the bad boy mentality, even everybody shot threes. So he was even saying how Golden State and how everybody has this outside in perimeter game, they were doing that before everybody else, and how Bill Laimbeer was shooting threes, and Bill Laimbeer held the record for the most center that was shooting threes.
At that time, exactly. He basically was like Dirk Nowitzki and those guys way before them.
So it was interesting.
11, 7 feet tall and shooting threes. And it was crazy. I have to say something off of what you said. And being a real sports fanatic, I loved how they broke this down on Last Dance. So what that was is a little inside shit. Just to tell you how cold-blooded Dennis Rodman was. He did something, I almost want to think they call it like a reverse triple-double. He's one of the only dudes in the history of the game. He might be the only one. They actually brought it up that there's only one other guy that did it. He got one game. I'll never forget this. He had 0 points, not 1 point. He had 20 rebounds. He had 10 assists, and he had 10 blocks.
Wow.
Not 1 point.
Not 1 point.
And one reason why Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen loved that was the epitome of them going, that nigga doesn't even care about scoring a point.
That just shows you how unselfish he was. He didn't care. He just wanted to rebound and get it to who was the offensive threat.
I didn't even watch the special, and I don't know if it was in the special. I can help me. Maybe it was just an excerpt that I saw. I saw him breaking down how he gets rebounds. I was like, yo.
I was just about to talk about that.
Go ahead. You break it down, Alex.
Oh, I'm gonna break it down to a T because I remember the story from years ago, and I loved how they caught it. What'd you say, Betsy?
ESPN, I don't know. You need to be a sportscaster, a comedy relief sportscaster. I'm done.
I am a sports fanatic. So years ago, I remember seeing an interview with Dennis Rodman explaining how he gets all his rebounds. But in this latest one, it was kind of a quick version of it. But long story short, he said he would rent out gyms and have 4 or 5 friends just come in and shoot. Like, nigga, it could have been Betsy, me, Savvy, and you said, and all I want you to do is just shoot. And you know what this man was doing? he was studying how
the ball, yes.
Off of my jump shot, knowing that if I came and did a left hand layup, chances are the ball is going to bounce to the right side of the rim. So therefore, remember, rebounds is all about reactions.
Yeah,
so if you got a 2-second jump on anybody, you're already there, because how the hell did you know from a 20-foot jump shot where the ball was going to go? Dennis Rodman broke it down so cold. He goes, I knew the majority of Scottie Pippen's misses were going to be long misses because of the arc on his shot. I knew when Michael Jordan misses, his misses are much closer because almost everything he shoots damn near goes in the hole, and if it happens to come out, it's kind of close around the rim. You get what I'm saying? He knew that a rebound from a three-pointer is going to be further from a rebound from a 10-foot shot. And it proved it, man, because he literally beat every single opponent to the punch before they can even.
I thought you was gonna break down the what's the name too. He was breaking down. He studied spin rotation on the ball.
That's what I just said. That
he could tell how to spin rotation, and that he used the tapping technique. And he was like, "Yo, I go this way. If the ball was spinning, rotating a certain way, I knew how to hit the ball and make the rotation of the ball tap and spin a different way."
What his different players' shots are.
Yeah.
People, what's so funny is, yes, Kobe Bryant modeled his whole jump shot, his whole game around Michael Jordan. Therefore, they almost had identical jump shots, right? They were like, Pimp, if you look at Michael Jordan's shots, they look different than the way James Harden's shots look. They look different than the way LeBron's three-pointers look. Each player has different velocities and rotation. If you're a left-hander, your layups are going to go a different way. If you're a right-hander, your jump shots. But he took time to study that when apparently no other player in the history of the sport did, and that's why he led the league in rebounds almost every single year. But can we go back to talking about Phil Jackson? And salute to Phil Jackson, because Phil Jackson was kind of a weirdo at heart. So he was like the only coach to ever really understand this crazy man named Dennis Rodman. And he gave him 48 hours. Dennis Rodman came up to him in the middle of that championship season and literally walked to him and just said, "Hey man, I need to go on vacation." And Phil Jackson was like, "What are you talking about? We're in the middle of the season. I need a vacation." He said, where the fuck you want to go? He goes, I want to go to Las Vegas. He's like, in the middle of the season, I just need 48 hours. And do you know that Michael Jordan was like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Like, if anybody needs a vacation, it's me.
It's me,
right?
But they knew he was a weirdo, and they knew he was on some other shit. And it was around that time where Scottie wasn't playing, and Jordan knew he needed a big help from somebody else. Do you know that they actually let him go for 48 hours in the middle of a season to go get drunk and party with white bitches? Did you know
that? Sure did.
And Michael Jordan had to go with two other guys and pull this nigga out of a bed. And Michael Jordan said, "I don't even want to tell you what I saw when I walked into this goddamn hotel room in Vegas." He just said it was a bunch of white bitches. Carmen Electra was like just laying on the side of the bed, butt naked, with sheets over my head, and going, "Oh my God, there's Michael Jordan." And they literally picked this dude up and got him back. And Michael Jordan said from then on, they damn near won out. And the dude, that's really what he needed. He really needed that little vacation. And they went on to have a championship season.
Yeah, what Mike didn't tell you was they all ran a train on Carmen Electra, and then they gave you the PG version of the story.
Carmen Electra was one of the most beautiful women.
Say it again.
Carmen Electra was smoking hot. She was one of the most beautiful. She did Playboy and was famous from it.
No, she was a beautiful hoe. She was a beautiful hoe.
Did Prince date her? Prince dated Carmen Electra, right?
And so did a lot of other black people.
I like how she used that word "dated" though. That word "dated," you know what I mean? You got to use that.
To make it all sound clean. I love that. And I suppose all the niggas that Madonna fucked, she was dating them also, huh?
sure
Yeah,
she
yeah.
would.
Dating them.
Yeah.
And I guess you could use dated for all the Kardashians too, right? Is that the word? Is that the word we're using now? Dated?
Use married, because everybody married a Kardashian. They've been divorced, married.
Hey, Betsy, I used to have a joke I used to do. I used to say, you heard of musical chairs? You heard of musical chairs?
Yeah.
I said, the
Yeah.
Kardashian bitches were playing musical niggas. All right. They literally nigga, the 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 nigga. I said, Kim Kardashian could have had a t-shirt that said NFL, NBA, R&B, who got next?
Oh shit.
Oh, this dude crazy, man.
Yeah, Alex he's hard on the Kardashians, man. I think we've had this debate probably for the longest that I've known him, going in about the Kardashians.
Hey, bro, they rich from everybody going hard on them, though, bro. We took it soft on them, they wouldn't be rich.
You know what I hate? You know the only thing I don't like about it? It is really nothing really personal. And I guess it really sunk in and changed when I had a daughter, right? I just hate how they're looked at as icons now. They're looked at as the same way I would want my daughter to look at a Michelle Obama or Jada Pinkett or Maya Angelou. They are literally looked at to these young girls right now, let's say between 13 and 20, they're looked at as icons, role models, and it's just hard for me to agree with that because all I can think about is the Ray J tape, you know what I mean?
Well, a lot of these little girls now, like I have friends with kids and like nieces and nephews, they're like lining up. They're like, need to get our lips done. Right. I don't care. Whenever I turn 18, get my lips done, getting this done. Everybody wants ass injections, hip injections, all that, because that is the new rage.
Hey, tell them to eat some bread.
It ain't working.
Olive bread.
But there's very little like, be who you are type of thing anymore. Like where Michelle Obama is a natural beauty. There's just not much of that. It's like people could be like, oh, I can make Michelle Obama look better. Let me put a little list on the cheek.
You know what it is too? You know what it is too? It's almost like when you have a daughter or you have a child and you're trying to tell them, you can be this, you can be that. And you're telling them like people you can look up to and this and that. It's almost like if you ask those chicks what they do, they kind of couldn't tell you,
Yeah.
I know what you do. You're an actress, you're a comedian. I know what you do, but when you got famous from being on your knees or your back, it's just hard for me to respect that. And I understand, and don't get me wrong, I know there's a lot of brothers that think differently, and there may be people upset for me saying this, because I know a lot of people that have had different types of affairs with them. I know a lot of them. That's sad to have to say a lot of them. And some even took it to the furthest extent, got married and had babies with them. You know what I mean? But it's still not somebody I would tell my daughter to look up to. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can go with that.
See, the thing about it now, Alex, most of them at this point would try to skip the line and they'll just tell you they're entrepreneurs. If you ask them what it is that they do, they'll say, oh, business owners. I own multiple businesses.
Right.
Well,
but the scary part is they actually are. That's the funny part, though, Savvy. Yeah. That's the scary part. They got
they're not lying about
online, it. They got online boutiques and online swimwear companies, and like
the youngest, I think Kylie's so-called. She's a billionaire now.
Yeah. But the funny thing about it, Alex, they don't have to go through the motions like when you go through a regular job. So, let's see that resume. What did you do before you were an entrepreneur? How did you get to this level?
Did you say what did you do, or which nigga did you do?
Before you became an entrepreneur, what nigga did you do? I mean, what did you do?
Because what's so funny about the whole family, it is so crazy how everybody got jungle fever. From the mama on down, everybody likes chocolate.
Yeah.
But here's an interesting look on that though, Alex. Who do you get mad at for that, right? Are you mad at them for doing it and winning at it? I'm not saying you. When I say you, I meant the people that are objecting to it. I'm not saying you as specific a person, right? But I'm almost questioning women themselves, because I feel like women themselves are the ones that have created this Kardashian culture, not men. We've been, consumers of it. But when you look at, the clothing line and them supporting the makeup line, I feel like their brand is directed towards women, but women have supported this whole culture. They go to like pole dancing classes and they propagate promiscuity. You know what I mean? They they promote being a stripper. All that kind of stuff. So it's like we got to look right back at women for the fault of these women that we see today, that we're saying we don't want to look at them as role models, but we got to look at women as the one pushing it out there to say this is our role model.
Would you say this? Is it safe to say, and I'm just throwing things out, I'm not saying this is coming from the bottom of my heart, no. Would you say that the Kardashians are the epitome of culture vultures? Meaning, for you answer, everything about them and their life, to me, revolves around us and our culture, outside of, obviously, they're Armenian, right? But everything from the music they like, to their Instagram, to every one of them fucking rappers and black guys, it feels like they made their billions and their millions off of our culture.
Let me tell you something.
Y'all go ahead. I got an answer on that.
Culture, no, off of green dollar bill. They're not dating a broke ass motherfucker in a beat up house. They're dating ball players that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars, rappers that are fucking throwing enough cash to buy houses in every state. Let's just correct that.
But Alice is gonna say they're black ball players and they're black rappers. That's what he's probably gonna say.
But if they weren't, and they were just sitting in my backyard barbecuing with me and my sisters, are they gonna be coming after them? No, it's money. It's money. It's all money.
Your thoughts, Doc?
That's why I was quiet, because I was trying to gather my thoughts. I don't know if I look at it as if there have been times where they have taken from us and tried to capitalize it. I believe, I can't remember who had the t-shirt line. One of them had the t-shirt line, and they have done some stuff where, their team didn't advise them correctly. I think they had did something with like a Tupac or a Biggie. It was something like that, right? But for the most part, their products or the things they had developed aren't really for us.
For us, yeah.
No. I don't
I don't know if I look at that as they're taking from us per se to put back into, like, they're a culture vulture, so they're stealing from our culture, and now, I just took that from them, so now I can put this into my mascara.
Not to cut you off, but I have to say this, and I am just hypothetically speaking, guys, just to kick up dust to get you guys to talk. I'm just gonna be straightforward. Say the Kardashians, not one of them ever fucked with a black dude. Do you think we would still be talking about them in this world right now?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
You think so? What?
I think that
they would still be successful, and we would all be talking about them if they
they might not be relevant to the status that they are today. I could go with that, but I think that doesn't qualify them to say that they are culture vultures, which was your original question. I think if that is the status for being culture vultures, saying I only date black guys and I'm successful after dating black guys, if that's the definition of culture vultures, then I think a lot of people.
No. Dudes is just one thing. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. They just have.
But I think that's the only thing. But I think that's the only thing when it comes to them. They date black guys. They like black guys. But what else are they doing? That's vulture. That's culture.
They have a successful reality show that's been going on for 15 years. And all of us talking about Armenian chicks that got these big booties now, and they twerk and they fuck with ignorant ass rap niggas, and they do everything in our culture. They wear our shoes and this and that. Would we be talking about them?
I would say yes, because what was I would say yes, because what made the show successful had nothing to do with blackness. It had nothing to do with them dating black.
That added to it. I'm not gonna say it didn't add to it, but I think it wasn't built. It wasn't built on that.
No, I didn't say that. I'm
saying that I think
what you're saying.
It would have been successful if they hadn't been with anybody that was black. Yeah, being with somebody black, it did add to it later on, but I still think it would have been successful.
It would have. Courtney never done date. She dated Scott. He's a white guy. She got 3 kids from a white guy. She dates all white.
It was really Chloe for the most part. That was the main one that was, dating with black guys. Even as much as you want to say Kim, but Kim was out of that phase by the time you really got to the show.
No, but now I'm gonna have to come back to that, because Kim, what a lot of folks don't know is Kim was married to a black guy who's a producer.
But you and I know that. I was just not trying to. I wasn't just trying to go that deep with it.
No, but just so I could give it that context.
When the show started, that's the big thing.
She has been dealing with black men for a while.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But even with that being said, because a lot of folks didn't even realize that, and she really kind of started to get really popping on our scene because of the Ray J thing. I'm not going to say that wasn't the case.
True.
That definitely helped. Yeah. But had the Ray J thing not have happened, I still think they would have been successful. I still think
because she was best friends with Paris Hilton. She was in every Hollywood club with Paris Hilton when tabloids were still a thing.
Right. Remember that?
Her and Paris Hilton were leaving and getting pictures together, and she started getting her face out there.
Right.
And that's what she did. And then they released her own sex tape. She made a sex tape for them to release. And the big thing was, in the show, was the family had been separated in a huge fight because Kim ran off and married that producer.
So what you're saying, Betsy, she got her face out there and then her pussy came right next. Her pussy got
her face out there, then her kitty cat.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Well, look, guys, that's how we're ending today's show, talking about the Kardashians. I had no idea we were going to end up going there. But it's always an interesting time here on the Funny Don't Stop show. I had fun. I learned something every single week. Did you guys have a good time?
Oh, no doubt.
And I appreciate
always, man.
Come on, I appreciate everybody, man. Savvy, let them know where they can find you at.
Yo, what's up, y'all? I'm on all platforms. Main one, Instagram, Savvy Amusing.
Betsy.
I'm on all platforms too. Bling and Betsy Comedy. Main one right now, TikTok.
TikTok.
DOC221ENT, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Said Brass.
I'm an old man, so I'm not on TikTok and I'm not on Twitter. So check me out at Said Brass, SEDBRASS. Instagram, YouTube. That's where you'll catch me.
Yeah, you can check me out at DABIGGUZ.
That's what's up. And check me out at Funny Man Alex Thomas, and every single week right here on the Funny
Don't Stop Show.
Are you on TikTok?
Hey,
Alex, are you on TikTok?
Man, I stopped that TikTok shit